Hey guys, happy Saturday. It's the weekend. I hope you're not working too hard. I hope you're having fun and taking a break from school. I've decided that I'm going to read you a chapter book because I found a chapter book that's kind of fun about pen pals. If any of you would like to write to me as pen pal, just let your parents know and they can get my address. I'm really good at writing back. Because we can't see each other, it would be fun to start up a pen pal system. So you write to me, I'll write back, and we can get that going. It'll be fun to practice your writing, and we'll have some fun with this. All right, let's get started. All right, this is called Yours Sincerely, Giraffe. Dear reader, tell me, how do you spend your days? Do you have good friends, or are you all alone? Do you have lots and lots to do, or are you feeling bored? Let me introduce you to Giraffe. Write my story, Giraffe said. It's perfect for people who are alone and for people who are bored, and even people who are busy might like to take a little break and read it too. So poor little Giraffe, he's feeling bored. Some of us might be feeling a little bored and missing our friends. So if you want to write to me, just let me know. Chapter 1, A Bored Giraffe Writes His First Letter. This is the African savanna, home to one bored giraffe. On this day, like every other day, the sky was clear and blue. Cream puff clouds drifted slowly by. A gentle breeze crossed the plain, and there was an endless supply of acacia leaves, which Giraffe loved to eat. Sounds perfect, you say. You're quite right. Giraffe had everything he needed, but in fact, there was one thing he was missing, an extra special friend. He had no one to share his feelings with, and so, alas, he was a very bored giraffe. And one more boring day was coming to an end. Today was just the same as ever. Nothing happened as usual, and I am just the same as ever, bored as usual. Giraffe watched the sun slip slowly out of sight. The horizon was mirrored in his big round eyes. Suddenly, he blinked. I wonder what's on the other side, he thought, and what sort of animals live there. He stretched his long neck as far as it would go, but he couldn't see beyond the savanna. Wait, I know. I'll write a letter. Where did he get that idea? Well, when he was munching on leaves that afternoon, he had happened to see this sign hanging from a tree. Announcing a new mail service willing to deliver anything anywhere. Contact me anytime. Fee up to you from a bored pelican. A bored pelican? That sounds just like me, thought Giraffe. Maybe if I write a letter, I'll feel less bored. And if I use the new delivery service, Pelican will feel less bored too. Yes, that's what I'll do. I'll write a letter. That night, Giraffe fell asleep feeling much happier than usual as he thought about all the things he wanted to say. The next day, he wrote his very first letter and took it straight to Pelican. Pelican was a little nervous. After all, this was his first customer. Welcome to the Pelican Delivery Service. Where shall I take your letter? Giraffe was a little nervous too. Give it to the first animal you meet on the other side of the horizon, he said. The horizon? You mean that place over there? Pelican pointed to the border the border between the bright blue sky and the green savanna. That's right. Giraffe was beginning to feel excited. And please bring back a reply. Of course. The horizon doesn't look very far. I should be able to make it there and back before the sun goes down. Pelican flapped his wings and flew up in the air, higher and higher, as if he were being sucked into the sky. Be sure to get a reply, Giraffe shouted. Okay. In no time, Pelican had shrunk to a tiny little speck and disappeared. Next chapter. Is the horizon near or far? Pelican had said he would be back before sundown, but it was now long past sunset and darkness had fallen. Giraffe sighed. I doubt that even Pelican can fly in the dark. I guess there's no point in staying up all night. I'd better go to bed. He gently closed his eyes. Even though Pelican had not returned, Giraffe still felt peaceful inside. It's all right. I'm sure he'll come back with a letter from the other side of the horizon. From early the next morning, the not-so-bored Giraffe watched the sky for Pelican's return. He craned his neck so eagerly that it grew 2 inches. By the time noon rolled around, Giraffe's neck had stretched another inch. Then, at last, there he was, the long-awaited Pelican. Giraffe was popping with excitement. He could see something in Pelican's beak. Hurry, he shouted. Show me the letter, quick, quick. But Pelican gave him a long, hard look. Now listen here, Giraffe, he said. Do you have any idea how hard that job was? Giraffe realized he was being impatient, so he took a deep breath. It was that hard, was it? He said. Here, let me get you something to eat. Put down your bag, and have a good long rest. Oh dear, thought Giraffe, as the words left his mouth. Why on earth did I tell him to take a long rest? He was dying to read the letter that very minute. Pelican ate until his belly was full and his heart content. Then he told Giraffe his story. Although the horizon had looked close, it was very far away. No matter how far he flew, he never seemed to get any closer. When he finally reached the other side, all that he could see was water. There was more water than any lake he had ever seen in Africa. You said to give the letter to the first animal I met on the other side of the horizon, right? Said Pelican. Well, that's right, Giraffe nodded. Well, the first animal I met was named Seal. Here's a letter, I said. Please bring me a reply. Will do, he said, and then he zoomed away. Pelican discovered that the big water was called Whale Sea, and that Seal's job was to deliver all the mail there. Pelican was particularly impressed to hear that Seal had just won an award for being such a hard worker. But then who got my letter? Giraffe asked. He was beginning to feel a little worried. In a very small voice, Pelican said, well, it seems that the only animal in Whale Sea that ever gets letters is, someone or other. Giraffe leaned forward eagerly. And did you meet this someone or other? No, that's not his name. Actually, it sounded something like my name. Let me think for a moment. Pelican tried hard to remember the name, but that was the last thing Giraffe cared about. All he could think of was opening that letter. He wasn't bored any longer. His heart was pounding as if his whole body were a drum. Thumpity thump, thumpity thump. Boom diddy boom, boom diddy boom. Pelican couldn't stop talking about his first delivery job. By the time he finally went home, it was already dark. I never did find out the name of that someone or other, thought Giraffe. He wanted to read the reply right now, but he would have to wait until morning. The moon was just a tiny sliver, and the night was far too dark to read. Can you guess who got Giraffe's letter? His name sounds like Pelican. If you guessed Penguin, you're right. Shall we take a peek at Penguin's life? All right, guys, tune in tomorrow to find out about Penguin. Thanks for stopping in. Bye.